Welcome, my friends, this is Maniacal Incorporated, and you arrive just in time to join Diarmid as he marches with his great knights led by Pangerbone towards Dunbar to take part in an archery contest. So we're going to get that out of the way first of all. See how we do there before we think about raiding. We have a good chunk of money. And before we think about completing the conquest of Ireland and bringing Leinster into our domain. I'm not entirely sure what's actually going on up here in the Outer Hebrides. I don't remember this person being in line, Dervla, to inherit the Outer Hebrides. There is her mother, Selvla, who we installed, well, our father installed on the throne here. But we can negotiate a marriage between Dervla and our son Patrick. So that will at least put the House of Enail on the throne of the Outer Hebrides at some stage. So we have a fresh start on our march to Dunbar. That's who we're going visiting. Lads, no. Bow and arrows, no, leave those behind. You don't need those. So that alliance has been completed. Patrick is our second eldest son, so he's not actually our heir and successor. An uneventful march. We have arrived. There is no time to lose. I must begin preparing. I must be a victor at absolutely any cost. So he has won a board game tournament. He's lost a wrestling tournament, though he won the title The Dirty. We're just outside the qualifying threshold. We need 2 more points, 2 more progress to victory to qualify for the upcoming contest. I suppose we might as well go to the tournament grounds. If we're that close to qualifying, even though that doesn't give us a great chance of winning, we'll say. So the champions wander past me. Spinning on my heels, I call to a figure. Something isn't right here. Stepping forward, I rip off the helmet before they have a chance to react. Standing before me, looking around furtively to see if anyone else has noticed. A woman! Dressed as a chip. Disgraceful. So we have a couple of different options. We could keep the secret. We could pay her and have her join as one of our champions. Very good prowess. Very good martial figure. I'm not too sure, would she actually be a champion in the kingdom? That's gas. But the worst thing is, and we are known as the Dirty Guards, there's a woman. Ugh, a woman in our tournament. She'll be banished from the realm, but our score will increase slightly. Oh, Diarmid, you terrible, terrible man, you. That is absolutely the face of a man who doesn't care what it takes to gain victory, and we've just passed the qualification threshold now. So while Diarmid is off in Scotland getting women thrown out of the archery tournament, his son and heir, Diarmid, is minding the fort. He's the regent, and he's enjoying his free time. We can now organise a marriage between him and the daughter of the ruler of Connacht. This was a betrothal that we organised a while back, but no. Young Diarmid is having none of it. He's enjoying his free time around the place. He's staying up late. He's eating crisps. He's not cleaning up after him. And he's going to enjoy his free time for as long as he possibly can. We're being told that the regent is not loyal enough to consent to being married off. The archery contest begins, and we have, by the looks of it, qualified the varied crowd of contestants. Mill about the butts, comparing bows and trading tales of their finest shots. I won a Magic the Gathering tournament once. The creak of bows and twang of strings carry far, punctuating. Pangerbond, no! Get out of that Fletcher's, oh god, no. Right, it's time to show the world my skill. We should place a bet. Let's see who we can bet on. It'll give us an idea of what our contestants are like. I think, is this the guy? No. He just seems to have the same name as the guy holding the contest. We can see the Hastelauder, legendary Blade Master. He's not even using a bow and arrow. He's throwing daggers at this thing. We can't see the Hastelauder skill, can we, of these people. He seems to be the favourite, though. Oh my god, we're the outside. We're the underdog. Oh no. We're the 100 to 1 long shot. Yeah. I probably really shouldn't be here. Progress to victory is not great. Time to start unfurling that thumb into a fist. The banners flutter and roil around as I step up to take my shot, battered by the wind. I wait for it to subside. I continue waiting. I don't think it's going to stop. So we could try and cheat our way out of this, I think. Oh no. It's a diplomacy challenge. 0% chance that your score increases slightly by trying to push it off onto somebody else's turn. Maybe if I shoot across the wind. Oh no, this was a bad... Actually, it wasn't my turn yet, was it? The competition begins to draw to a close. We still have not even hit the mark once. I thought I was level 3 on that once upon a time. I think our experience has gotten bad just by being here. So a combined prowess and learning challenge. Your score increases moderately, 59% chance of success. Oh god, no. This is definitely not a tournament we should have been taking part in while drunk. I am winning. This man has been drinking heavily. So your score increases greatly. No. No. I thought we'd won for a moment. So it's Ricard. Did I even hit the target once? A herald steps forward, voice booming out across the sea. Now's not the time to be shouting. I have a headache. I drank too much and I'm sobering up. So... Oh, we didn't come anywhere. We were last. God damn it. We got absolutely nothing. This is the worst trip to Scotland ever. Yeah, no, this wasn't a great visit. Somebody got a prize bow, +4 prowess, +7% night effectiveness, and advantage in forest, +2. That's pretty cool. So Ricard of Clermont, fair play to him. Yeah, let's head home and never talk about this again. At least somebody knows how to use a bow and arrow. Panger Bone, rodent killer, approaches me with a dead rat. So the castle has never been this free of rodents before. Does that mean he's marched all the ways with that dead rat? He has marched all the ways from Tara. Fair play to him. And up to here to show us what he did. That is dedication. I'm not going to lie, I'm beginning to forget who most of these people are. But one of our alliances has ended. So this must be our sister. Because here are some of our nieces. So this guy has already died. Now I think the bulk of the forces went this way maybe. So this alliance was worth about 2,000 troops to us. And I'm not seeing that 2,000. I'm seeing about 1,300 between the two new ruling powers. And this guy will not form an alliance with us. So we're A-okay at the moment. We're A-okay-ish. We wouldn't want to be fighting any big wars. And we are finding it hard to form alliances due to the fact that we receive a piety penalty for marrying anyone who isn't insular. So we wander back home. That lad's delighted with himself. Thank God I can go back. Why isn't this place clean? So Diarmid, our son Diarmid, has just been eating packs of potatoes, dumping the remains everywhere. Pangerbone has been killing the rats that have been attracted by the mess and bringing them to us to show us how little work our son has been doing. The regency has ended, and we can tell this lad to go and get a wife for himself. Argyle the Devils have started raiding us. I'm not too sure were they just raiding the Isle of Man. Somebody was. So they have marched from here down. I'm not too sure I've risen enough forces. We might as well raise them all. An acquaintance of ours has died. So this is... Right, there is absolute anarchy going on up here. I don't even know who this child is. I don't even know what's going on up here. So that is the child of the previous ruler. They have just been... They were executed by Alil. Alil. Connacht and this region has just been complete and utter anarchy. I'm going to see, will we be in a position... We are improving relations with him to revoke that title, because that family has just created absolute anarchy in Argyle. And we got 36 quid back. We've just been told that Felcar has finished converting the faith in Ormond. So let's see what way things look now. So Leinster remains the last major holdout. We'll start converting the faith there, but why is it telling me he's insular? That's going to take 2 years. So we do have a good chunk of work left to do. Leinster has kind of started. Leinster has sorted itself out. So Etna has actually dispossessed her sister of all of the lands. And immediately Munster has gone in and started raiding Ossory down. So I think Etna defended against her sister's attempts to split Ossory off, and those have been defeated, and she has seized all of Leinster for herself. We will see. You fool, you absolute fool. So here's an interesting one. I was going to say a distant relative. He's our brother-in-law, but he's distant geographically. He is at war. Do you know what that part isn't too far away from us. These guys are a bit further. So he's clashing with them, and we haven't actually entered any wars just for the sake of it. So do you know what? Oh my god, really? Dude, come on. They barely have 10%. Wait, no. They barely have 1% of your army. We'll accept, but I wonder, could we get to here and raid it? So we have a ton of money to our name that we can't do a lot with because I messed up the send out missionary decision. And somebody is offering to make us a shield. If you'd added another 3 gold onto that, it would have been fantastic. We will sponsor that inspiration. And maybe a couple of years too late, but we have finally gotten that stewardship perk that will give us development growth in realm capital. We do need to try and increase development a bit if we want to get anything researched. I think animal husbandry is taking 8 years at the moment. Development across the kingdom is in the pits. So anything to help with centralization is going to be something to follow. Or with, not centralization, with development. I don't think there's much else here that I want. Most of what we're talking about now is on Collect taxes could be useful, but you know what? I'd say we are going to go back to that plus 15% development growth. And probably, with the stage he's at in his life, do you know what? We might as well go down whole of body. So here is Abner. Does he have much money? He's a good chunk of money. And he's still under his mother's regency. There is his father, Mercarthuk, and his elder brother Owen, the High Chieftain. And he's all excited about this shield that's being built, and he wants to contribute 15 quid to it. We could keep the money or tell him to keep it. We'll tell him how generous. So it might be of a slightly higher quality. Okay, we didn't even get to siege down a single area. There you go. Good job, guys. And Pangerbon has charmed one of our vassals, Cunla of Athlone, our uncle. Pangerbon, the true hero of the kingdom. I have attempted to offer vassalization to Enya in Leinster on numerous occasions. She has refused, and now she continues to keep her sister, our niece, they're both our nieces, continues to keep her sister in prison after depriving her of ossuary. This is unacceptable. We will declare a war to vassalize Leinster. They basically have no allies. I'm surprised that the army raised as a single unit. If I split it in half, is it going to keep all the knights in one army? It's not. Alil, do you know what? You go in that direction. And this army here, I will change it to Alberico, military engineer, and we'll send him down in that direction. Oh no. She is a drunkard, just like us. Apparently we're trying to romance the woman working on our shield. What is disappointing is that the artifact produced might be of a slightly lower quality. So I'm going to say no, adultery is a sin. For 25 piety, he has gone back to the learning lifestyle. He was a scholar. It'll be interesting if we manage to convert the entire island without anyone ever having taken up the clerical tree. No, I can't. I need a shield of higher quality. So a bit late. Leinster tried to pull its armies out. Failed. They've been sent away off in some direction. They're parking themselves in ossuary. The inspiration has been realized. I hope this is worth the 66 quid I paid for it. The Kach Shield. 0.08 renown per month. Interesting. And court grandeur bonus +2. It is a small wall ornament. Oh no. Because we have a lot of things that need to go on the wall already. Thanks. I'm completely wrong. There's a difference between a small ornament and a large wall ornament. Where will we put the shield? We'll put it up on the wife's side, the way I don't really have to be looking at it. So there you go. We have the Kahak shield. A wooden shield of excellent craftsmanship, constructed with sturdy ash planks and bound together with a rim of wrought iron. The edge is inlaid with deer antler and painted with images of symbols and phrases in dedication to Saint Kenach. Well, there you go. I thought it was going to be a big, massive thing that we'd have to try and take down one of the banners or the hide that we have. Now that is fantastic. That is brilliant. Somebody has come to us. They're a permanent fixture in the court, an expensive one too. We do have a lot of money. She is an annoying waste of money, but her exaggerated antics are quite entertaining. Oh yeah, our court physician. She has a claim to a place. But look, since you're always here, you might as well make yourself useful. So she will become the court jester and physician. I'm just thinking, you're in need of surgery, you're dying, and in comes the jester, dressed up fully in jester clothing, with like the medical kit and all the supplies. You're always here. Become the court jester. There you go. It's going to be terrifying when one of the kids becomes sick, and this is what is brought in to heal them. Now, what I was hoping to do was demand her conversion, but we can't demand the conversion of a landed ruler who is not your vassal, which makes sense. If I bring this war to an end, first of all, as far as I know, she leaves the prison. We can always go around the long way and demand her conversion when we have made her a vassal. So we'll just have to get some money. 99 out of 100. Not too shabby. Now, it is possible that that's actually going to continue the war now that we've released her, but of course the fact is that we'll smash that army if this war does continue. Nope, it still ends. Enforce our demands. So be it. And so completes the conquest of Ireland. The entire entity is now under the rule of the High King of Ireland. However, we still have the spiritual affairs of the island to take care of, and we're now presented with two interesting decisions. Where's decisions? Got it. There's decisions. Bend the swords of your enemy. And I'm actually going to take this option to hit the levy size and prestige of Leinster and increase our own fame and prestige. Let them taste our fury. So they came for victory, but shall receive nothing but dishonour. They shall suffer. Now, I am at some stage going to hold a hunt in Leinster to see what kind of hunting ground we have in that direction. However, Nath Frioch in Munster has started holding a wrestling tournament. So we're going to pay a visit to that. We have 4 months before we need to leave. He's holding a wrestling tournament in Rosscray. And he heard that we were somewhat of a wrestler. Yes, I'm sure a lot of people heard about that. So I'm going to pay a visit to that tournament. We can hold on for a month or two before we need to leave. It's not exactly the longest journey. Do you know what? We have time. We have a lot of time ahead of us, so if she refuses, there's not a lot that she can do. We're going to demand that High Chiefess Enya converts to Insularism. Here is an interesting scenario. To my liege, I see the wisdom of your faith. I'm sure you do. She is Chalcedonian. But I hope you understand that a long, winding path it is from the darkness into the light. It's been a lot of people had to die for you to realize that you should come into the light. She wants a weak hook. And if I give that to her, I'm wondering if the weak hook can be used to place her on the council. She is utterly useless at everything. However, she is easily murderable. And there is a Baba that will follow after her. I accept, for the good of Insularism everywhere, and for the good of your own life, you will let this weak hook lapse. And so now, the entire island is ruled by insular chiefs and chieftains. We have but to convert the people, and that's going to be an easier task, like I said, now that the actual rulers follow the insular faith. But who cares about religion when there is wrestling to be had? I have changed the path ever so slightly. We were going to be going through Athy and Kilkenny, but the problem is that there is 38 and 35% chances of danger. If we go up here, it's reduced to 1 and 10% by keeping our mercenary guards and the forther, so off we go. We're only a few feet from the door of our house when we are challenged by an imposing man standing in the middle of the road ahead of us. Carol. He's a bit... Bless him, he's a bit slow. We could trample him to death and resume our march. Or Gareth, the victor of the last wrestling tournament that we attended. 53% chance that Carol will join the court. 46% chance that Gareth is wounded. Gareth will show how this is done. Uh-oh. Oh wait, Carol gained the trait wounded. No, that's grand, that's fine. So Carol has joined us. He's put on a hat. He's gotten himself a scar. His prowess has dropped a bit because of that wound. And Gareth is still on track to win the wrestling tournament. If you're wounded, you should pay a visit to the court jester. They'll make you feel right as rain. Speaking of, our wife, Beatrice, is not doing so good. So we could try and cure her. 82% chance that she is fully healed and we improve as a novice physician. Absolutely. And there you go. Who needs a court jester when you have somebody with the medical skills of this drunkard? Look at these two. They're delighted. Good old buddies. We're past the qualification threshold. There's our uncle is the favoured contestant. Oh boys, if there's a fight between the two of us and we have to get that fist out again, oh boys. There'll be talks in the family for God only knows how long. And I can't wait for it to start. So I have no idea what makes a good wrestler. That's clear. I'm wondering, is Gareth attempting to defend his title as the ultimate wrestler? There's me. There he is, the man himself. The man, the myth, the legend. Let's see how he performs. So absolutely, 100%, we're going to leave our intent at triumph. We usually go to the tournament grounds to increase our progress to victory. This time, we're going to go to the tents to meet the other contestants or sabotage them. We're known as Diarmid the Dirty for a reason. Of all the people who could betray me, it's this lad. We're not here to sabotage our contestants. They're here to sabotage us. Con Mole, the champion of the serpent. He's given out. He doesn't want to compete. We could tell him, compete. I'll give you anything. Because we are wrathful, we will gain 80 stress. We have the money. Contest aptitude goes up by 5. And we do have a number of ways of bringing our stress down. I don't want to eject him from the court or tell him to rest because the champion of the serpent title would lose 10 glory. So sure, I will give you anything. We gain a lot of stress because we're wrathful. Oh, Con Mole, you absolute devil. Now we have a number of ways of getting rid of our stress. The worst thing, however, is that I can't engage in any of them until I return to Tara. That is where we left all the booze, and that is where we left the cat. So we're not doing great on the progress to victory. So there is a newcomer here. One of our champions has entered the wrestling contest, Gareth. We will, of course, place a bet. Oh, that devil. Did I see him there? Did I see his name there? I thought I saw Ricard's name, the guy who won the archery contest against us the last time. Gareth is a safe bet. So our contestant is who we're fighting in our first tournament is an unlikely underdog. And this guy in St. John's said, you know what, yeah, sure. We'll bet on Gareth. Because we're not the best at the old wrestling. So we circle each other. I notice a small puff of dust being thrown up under his right foot every time he takes a step. It's almost like he's limping slightly. Ha! I have you now. So a 69% chance, nice, that the score increases moderately. And you gain 10 trait experience in foot. Absolutely. So the crowd bays for blood as I stagger forward to confront my opponent again. The bout is close, so close. One thumb by either of us could end it in an instant. So the best options are prowess and martial, prowess and intrigue. We'll go with prowess and martial. That liver looks vulnerable. And the match is over. I would expect a victory. But his liver, it looked vulnerable. I attempt to throw my opponent, but as soon as I do, I am sent flying through the air myself. This is a disaster. This is the second disaster by this fool in 2 wrestling tournaments. Why do we even show up anymore? Oh yeah, it's the promise of alcohol. I'm not gonna lie, I forgot who we bet on. Did we bet on Gareth? Gareth has made it through to the next round. Gareth has made it on to the next round. I don't see Cunla there anywhere. Our uncle, who they were telling us was favoured for the contest. An interesting round. So, the Kingdom of Ireland's hopes once again rest on Gareth. Look at this for a baiting he's after giving this fella. I think he was the underdog. You'll be limping away home, away off with you. So, I think it was actually Cone Mole. I looked back over it and I forgot to highlight it. I think it was Cone Mole, the champion of the Serpent, who scarred Gareth when we were fighting a raid against them. They raided our territory, if I'm correct. We hit their forces, scarred him, and then at the last wrestling tournament, we convinced him to join our court. So Gareth, the poor man, has had an interesting career, to say the very least. The bet is still on. And over here then, the guy who defeated us has been beaten by Volvari. A fine contest. So it's Gareth, I'm calling him Gareth, and Volvari, who have reached the final. Oh my god. The prestige of the kingdom rests on your shoulders, Gareth. A second victory, 2 for 2, the undefeated heavyweight champion of Ireland and maybe a part of Scotland. So apparently I attempt to throw my opponent. I'm that excited. I attempt to throw my opponent, but as soon as I do, I am sent flying through the air myself. We're in the audience. We're wrestling. We've broken into fights. Whatever's happening in the ring, nobody cares about that. There's referees jumping out left, right, and center, trying to judge pins and falls. Gareth, however, has won the wrestling contest. Don't mess with the Éireann champion. That doesn't make sense. Don't mess with the Irish champions. Won the wrestling contest. A second victory. We should just start promoting this lad, as in just go around the kingdom with a poster. Just holding wrestling tournaments. That's what we're going to do from now on. I must put in more effort next time, I think to myself, watching the victor's arm being raised. There's always next time. What's going on here? As Volvari is a devoted landless knight, he donates his prize money to his liege. Well, hey, Gareth does the same thing. So, we won 7 quid. Gareth gained 150. So we gained 75. He paid 37 of his gold to us. And then splits his prize money with us. So that's another 25. And he receives a prize when the whole thing is over, and everyone gains wrestler for a while. That's fantastic. We did We did mighty. The money that we've made here. So medium health boost, hostile scheme resistance, and Hastallowler trait experience gain. There's always next time. Who needs next time? We need to enter all the wrestling tournaments that we can, because Gareth is a money-making machine. What a great occasion. So, have we gained 12 trait experience in foot, 75 prestige, and Gareth has won himself a second prize brooch. Fair play to him. What a great occasion. So here is the end of the whole thing. Prize brooch. This lad's done fairly well for himself. Other than the fact that we're stressed to the gills, we have done very, very well. Finished the grand tournament. It has been so stressful answering phone calls from all of the major newspapers, all of the major television stations. They all want to interview Gareth. He is the big thing in wrestling at the moment. It's been a great success. We've made a ton of money, but it is so stressful. And Panger Bone, bless their soul, they understand this. They bring us purring comfort. We lose 29 stress. Travels of travels to come. Journeying through Athlone. I pass by a peculiar looking tent. Oh, there's always a peculiar tent in Athlone. Tell me my future, wise one. So 50% chance it's good, 50% chance it's bad. It's always been good up to now. I've organised a marriage for Conmol, the son of Conmol. So his father is the champion of the Serpent. I don't think it shows up there anywhere. And he just threw a strop at that tournament. And what we're going to do is we're going to hold a hunt. And we're going to try and get this man the hunter's title, the way that we can make him the successor to his father and grandfather as champion of the Serpent. And he now has a wife for himself. You have gained 11 experience. Speaking of Conmol, there he is. Thank God. I can go inside again and get a pint. Lads, I'm absolutely dying. I'm apparently still travelling. There we go. There we go. Another cup and my shoulders relax a bit more. This is how I am meant to spend my time. To be sober is to suffer. So we lose some stress and some prestige. Who cares? Our great knights and champions will get that back for us in wrestling tournaments. So I said that I would hold a hunt, and I was hoping to hold one in Leinster to mark its incorporation into the Kingdom of Ireland. However, there's no great hunting spots in Leinster down around Kinsale. There is a forest and no holdings. However, up here we have a boar sighting, and even better, a boar sighting, no holding, and hills. So this looks to be the best spot at the moment. So this is a deer hunt, but there is a boar, so we might as well go in that direction. Now, even though I don't have a lot of stress, I'm actually going to keep it on the recreation intent to get rid of that bit of stress. Not too pushed about getting a boar hide for the wall. And once we journey out and finish our hunt, I'm actually going to continue over in this direction to get 25 martial lifestyle experience. Of no real value to us, but we also gain 1 trait experience in Wanderer. So might as well pick that up when it's close by. And then we will wander back. I have put the Flushing gangs and substantial party to the top. So all courtiers and guests join, and the most important thing is that young Conmol has joined and will hopefully pick up the Hunter trait, which will allow him to become, potentially, the champion of the Serpent. It's been a long time since we've seen an ant path. Gareth has dismounted, and he's telling us you should never cross an ant path. My great-grandfather did, and he never returned home. This man is fearless. This man has been scarred in battle, has won 2 wrestling tournaments since then. I have never seen him afraid of anything except an ant path. We will find another way around. Because if this is worrying him, this is something we should all be afraid of. The best chance of success it is to have, and a bit more. The boar is close. I can feel it. Look at that for a team. Look at that for a mad team. Gareth. That's right, I made him Master of the Hunt recently, actually. Summons the party to gather as light reaches the camp. There is clearly a stout boar in the area. Dangerous but worthy game. There is indeed. So the peril is dangerous. The prestige is impressive. Let's get out there. So we have poachers, the devils. So our success chance will decrease slightly, but we get poacher training for 10 years. So the Venator trait experience gain goes up by 10, prowess goes up by 10. So we do have fairly good chance of success. I'm not too pushed about actually gaining a success. And again, I think through all the alcoholism, wrestling, board games, and deer hunting are the things that Diarmid wants to talk the most about. You hardly ever see him without his fancy hat on, but Owen, a distant relative member, the High Chieftain of Ulster, is picking geraniums. And we could ask him about the flowers. Our success chance would decrease slightly, 300 learning lifestyle experience. And we would gain stress because we are a hunter. We will tell him to get back on his horse, because like I said, Diarmid, killing things, physically beating up things, and whatever you do in board games. That's all this man cares about. Get back on your horse. He's never physically beaten up anyone, though. He's never won a wrestling match in his life. My vassal, Chieftain Alil, is the first to spot its sharpened tusks. We ride. The peril is great, but we are drunk. After hours of riding, we have finally cornered the wily beast. Our chase has not been in vain. So he could go out and try and bring it down himself. 12% chance it kills him. We could unleash the hounds. So we get a pelt trophy. Artifact will not be available. The pelt trophy will only be available if Diarmid goes forward himself. 24% chance that you become seriously wounded. 12% chance that you die. Diarmid has had too much to drink, and he has lost too many wrestling tournaments. Finally, in this boar, he thinks he has found a worthy adversary. He throws down his spear. He oils himself up, and he gets into a makeshift ring in the middle of the forest. I will bring it down myself. I heft my spear and cautiously move towards the exhausted animal. As I plunge my blade into it, the beast catches me with a strike. I am pulled away as it squeals its death throes. Damned creature! I think we've survived. This man was looking worried for a moment. 125 prestige. Oh, look at that for a scarred face on that man. Somebody is planning to kill one of my champions. Oh, boys, look at that. Look at that for a face. Hunts like these are a pure joy. I cannot wait for next year. There is nothing quite like the thrill of bringing down a mighty beast. This is undoubtedly. I think it's actually only our second hunt. Is it about the third hunt that we've had? There was an attempt to find a legendary beast that went wrong. And then we killed a wolf and we have its pelt hanging on the wall. And now Queen Beatrice has become a wild boar skull. Is that what that's saying? A famed small wall ornament. Plus 0.12 prestige per month. Plus 0.1 renown. Vassal limit has increased greatly, and court grandeur bonus. The skull of a boar with razor-sharp tusks, hunted by King Diarmid. It is masterfully preserved and attached to a plainly carved elm mount. As we place Eager Dog's share of the spoil on the stretched hide before departing for camp and home. So we lose a ton of stress, gain 3 experience, and prestige. Champion of the Serpent gains 80 glory. Galloway gets Dangerous Beast Slain for 10 years, and everyone gains 225 prestige. Or we could Give the wife the wild boar skull. It still remains a famed small wall ornament. Not at all. This is going up. This is going up in the court. So gained a good chunk of prestige. 80 glory to the champion of the hunt. 18 trait experience in Venator. That was a good hunt. That was a good hunt, to say the very least. We will finish the hunt. And now off we head to gain some martial experience. And before we come back to court, we will have our wall ornament hung up. I thought there might be an area we could get another large ornament in, but nope. So the small ornament, the famed wild boar skull. There beside the masterwork, beastly wolf hide. So Diarmid is indeed wounded, suffering a severe health penalty. His health is good, however, but at 51 years of age, that was potentially the last major hunt that Diarmid will take part in. I don't know if he's going to be wrestling boars again in future. There's his Traveller trait, and Wanderer is just about to be increased again. There's the Hastelauder. So he's best with a bow. He did not put in much of a performance with that bow the last time. Scholar Novice Physician is improving, and Venator is improving. And of course, pretty much the main reason that we did that was so that Conmol's son could become the new successor. I'm wondering, is this the same successor that was there before, or if he has changed for some reason? So there we go. Conmol will become the third generation to serve as Champion of the Serpent. I still don't have a full understanding of what exactly is going on here, but sure, we'll keep upping the title. So we actually get cheaper mercenaries by having a rank 3 champion. And I think they might also decrease the hunt pearl, which is fantastic. And there's Scoundrel. Not entirely sure what's going on there. So we've gained some experience by visiting Hadrian's Wall. 1 trait experience as a Wanderer. And we have a language barrier. So I think Diarmid got us out of a problem once before because he could speak Latin. And now he's going to get us out of a problem because he can speak Brythonic. Maybe that was his father who got us out of the problem when he could speak Latin. But our caravan masters have never been very good at dealing with foreign languages. And considering the amount of trips that we make to regions around here, it does show why you should probably try and actually figure out and learn the languages of regions that you'll be travelling into. Oh god, no, after a long day of travel, the horizon starts to bleed into warm colours. I take a moment to pause, close my eyes and breathe. Careful. My caravan leader, Conmol, screams. Pointing at the plains beyond the path we follow, what looks like a small rodent is running into the wild, and after it, a white figure I easily recognise. No, Pangerbone! Oh god, this could be the fall of the kingdom. Conmol, follow him. 29% chance that Conmol finds the pet, or 71. Oh god, no. Pangerbone is smarter than all of us. He'll find his way back. 50% chance that he may come back on his own. 50% chance that it may come back. 45% chance that it will come back. 5% chance that you find your pet. And something else. Oh god, help us. I'll personally find you, my Pangerbone. 46% chance that you find your pet. 53% that we become severely injured. Or quick, everybody after him. Absolutely, everyone. Absolutely. Everyone, go. It doesn't take much to track the growling and broken twigs down to their origin. Pangerbone sits over a leaf litter, licking his white paws with the blood of his victim. The squirrel is almost Pangerbone, dear God, for a squirrel. I knew you'd be successful. Well done. Or I will never take my eyes off you again. The kingdom And more importantly, Pangerbone is safe. So a notable guest has arrived at court. Scahach Nail, an interesting name. She heard that Pangerbone had almost disappeared or gone missing and was worried and frightened. We have gained 2 experience in Horse, 11 trait experience in Wanderer. And Pangerbone is safe. Thank God. So I was thinking the name Scahach sounded familiar. It's our sister, the mother of Ovluk, who is still in prison. I don't think there's a way that I can demand that she be released. I can't demand it of her sister either, the actual ruler. We could imprison her. We actually have a hook, and we could actually force her to be imprisoned. But our sister Scahach has returned to our court. So when her husband, that fool, the King of Leinster, died, she married the Prince of Burgundy, who is heir to the Kingdom of Burgundy. Now she's returned to our court. They've had a daughter, so our niece potentially could be the Queen of Burgundy someday, if those laws go through. This is a confusing anarchy. But she has claims to 2 regions that we also have claims to. I was hoping that it was somebody with claims to the Inner Hebrides. I don't know if I want to take this region by force, but it would be great to convert Iona to Insularism. And I was thinking it was, and I was going to start trying to install her in those positions. No point installing her if... Oh God, if we did install her on her death, then Leinster would gain those titles, and it's just going to create a confusing mess of a scenario. It's good to have you back, Scahach. It's good to have you back. Having finally united Ireland, High King Diarmid the Dirty sits in a throne room surrounded by the trophies of his hunts and victories. We have a bit of monthly income coming in, and we have a good chunk of money from raiding, so I'm going to use that as an opportunity to increase some of the court grandeur. We're going to go for modest food, and I think we will go for small lodgings. I'm not too pushed about going for the few servants at the moment, so it's going to go from 0.4 to 1.2. We'll apply that for now. The ultimate victory of Insular Christianity on the island of Ireland is secure. It looks like Chalcedonianism, however, is going to be victorious in Scotland. But Insularism is on the verge of taking hold on the entire island. And to think that this has been secured and will be secured by High King Diarmid the Dirty, who I think has converted more counties than any of his predecessors and has secured the final seizure of the island and has forced the conversion of the final rulers. So to think it's going to be King Diarmid the Dirty who will be regarded as the great saint and saviour of Insular Christianity on the island of Ireland, I think the next episode is probably going to be the last one. It's inevitable that we're going to get those locations converted to Insularism. It's going to take a while. It mightn't be completed by the end of the next episode, but it's just a matter of waiting. There are 2 great tasks which are left open to Diarmid. The first is to host a successful mission, which we can do in 535, October 535. So we're going to send a mission out to try and convert some random part of the world to Insularism and possibly have that act as a springboard to convert the entire world. Who knows? And the other thing that we have to do is something that no High King has done yet, none of his predecessors, and that is to host a grand tournament. We have attended many grand tournaments with moderate success. In fairness, we are a vassal of ours. I won't say a vassal, but a champion of ours has won in 3 tournaments. Okay, that's me and Gareth, who's won 2 wrestling tournaments. But yeah, we've had 3 victories, so we can't complain about that. But we're going to try and hold a grand tournament of our own, possibly. I don't know what it's going to be. Board games is what we've had the most success with so far, and I think it's a drinking tournament. That's what we're going to have. High King Diarmid the Dirty is going to host a grand drinking tournament, most pints in an hour, to celebrate his establishment of his dynasty as the High Kings of Ireland and securing Insular Christianity as the one true faith in Ireland. Thank you all very much for joining me on this episode, and I hope to see you on the next one with your drinking boots, because you're going to need them for the grand tournament.